Congratulations on the success of this. Can you start from the beginning and tell us about the marketplace and how it all began?
Yeah, thank you. So back in October 2019, I live on a farm in the Riverina of New South Wales when we were in very bad drought. So I started a Facebook group called Buy from a Bush Business just to sort of help small businesses sell their things and get in front of a bigger audience. Yeah, because it was drought, foot traffic was down, and when you live on the land, if farmers don't have money, towns don't have money. So that's why I started the Facebook group. And of course, Lauren and Sarah, who are now my business partners, they started Spend With Us, which was through the bushfires that happened 2019, 2020. And that was also to help small businesses get online and be able to sell their products, when there was no foot traffic and when they couldn't open their stores, or maybe when they had actually lost their businesses. And then about mid last year, we joined forces and created Spend With Us, the one you see now, which is more of a marketplace, and which attaches the Facebook group Buy from a Bush Business, which has about 311,000 people in it. So it's just all about supporting small, rural, and regional businesses, both through Facebook to be able to sell, but also through a marketplace.
How's it all been going?
Yeah, look, it's growing. It's growing steadily. So the marketplace as you see it now has been going since August. And we've got about 1,000 businesses on there now that we support through that. We had an amazing Christmas. We put through a little bit over $250,000 at Christmas time. So that was an amazing thing for our small businesses, and some great support from corporate Australia as well, buying gift vouchers to give to their staff, and so then they could go and spend in any of the shops on Spend With Us. So we had a really great Christmas. Of course, we'd still like to grow. We know there are still so many rural, especially bushfire affected businesses that are still really struggling to get up on their feet. So we're always looking to support more businesses for sure.
And you've started a podcast. You've done series 1. You're up to series 2. Can you tell us some of the amazing stories that are on the podcast and what you've experienced over the past year?
Yeah, absolutely. The podcast has been really fun. I now want to be an opal miner. One of the ladies that I interviewed, Robin Carmichael, she does boulder opal mining. I never knew there was different sorts of opal mining, never alone different sorts of opals. So yeah, she was really interesting to speak to. She used to be a corporate banker with one of the major 4 banks, I believe, and now sort of goes out in the middle of Queensland and mines opals. So that was a really fascinating story. Another fantastic little story was Amy, who has she has alpacas on her farm at Quinton Park up near Dubbo, and she makes things like out of the fibres from her alpacas, like alpaca flowers and things like that. And her story was really interesting because the farm was stricken by drought. So her craft of being able to have to be able to make things off the fibres of her alpacas, it was doing better than the farm was doing. So the farm was trying to sell sheep in order to, keep things going and keep being able to buy feed. But her small business was actually doing better than that online. So that was a really interesting tale about, I guess, her making a business out of her craft. And that's what we've sort of found as the platform has grown. So many people had just hobbies, and then all of a sudden, now it's a business. They've realised that not only mum and aunty want to buy their products, but everybody around Australia thinks that their products are amazing as well.
It's been inspirational to see the way that people have moved and changed, and we're going to talk about change very shortly on the program and how important it is that in the world we're living in. But drought, bushfires, and COVID-19 came from the side. How did that affect things for you guys?
It was just as unbelievable as it was to other people. But I really did feel sorry for, the farmers that were still going through drought, and the bushfire affected businesses and farmers and towns, because COVID kind of took over. And I think that was my point a little bit ago, is there's still so many people struggling to get back up on their feet from the fires. And I think, we've kind of concentrated COVID for so long that I think, shining a spotlight back on the people that are still struggling from 12, 18 months ago and, still coming out from the drought is really important. But I think it really changed the culture of Australia. People went, I want to support rural small businesses. And we saw a huge amount of growth inside our businesses from that. Just people, especially Melbourne. Melbourne certainly got online when they were in lockdown and did their Christmas shopping during August and September. And when they were sort of, looking for things to do and being online a lot, there was a lot of people that sort of said to me, they were already doing their Christmas shopping while, they were in lockdown. So, it was a really strange time, but I think it was a really somewhat the silver lining is that people have really started to buy from their backyards a lot more.
It is such a wonderful story and great to see how successful your organisation has been. Can you quickly run us through how people can find out more information?
Yeah, absolutely. So we would love you to go to spendwithus.com.au. So that's our marketplace website. Otherwise, in your favourite pod app, listen to Stories from the Bush and listen to the stories behind the people who live and work in rural Australia.
Great message today, Jen, and all the best going forward with you and your team now.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks, Tim. Thanks, Janie. It's been great.